Toyota is a little late to the game of subcompact crossovers. With more people flocking to these vehicles year after year, Toyota decided to finally give in with its all-new CHR. The result is a vehicle that definitely deserves worthy consideration if you are shopping within this segment. So let's go ahead and check out and take a closer look at this all-new 2018 Toyota CHR. Starting off, the CHR is an all-new model from the Toyota Motor Corporation and is currently now their cheapest and smallest crossover offering. And the CHR stands for Coupe High Rider, and while it may have coupe-like styling details, this is still a crossover at heart. But I do love the styling of the vehicle. I think it's unique and different. You'll find a high belt line as well as a sloping roof line in the rear that gives it a very imposing presence on the road. But I also love how Toyota didn't copy Mazda on this one, even though Toyota and Mazda are now in a business partnership with each other. And it's a pretty good looking vehicle. I love these 18-inch alloy wheels as well. And our trim of the CHR we have here is the base trim, which is the XLE version. There's only two trims available for this vehicle. You have the XLE as well as the XLE Premium, and there's no standalone options for this vehicle. Here goes the key fob designed for the CHR. You have your lock, unlock, as well as your panic alarm, and you have a switchblade key. The CHR was also originally planned to be a Scion vehicle. That was until Toyota killed off the Scion brand. This color of the CHR is known as the Silver Knockout. And you also do have a full-on black cloth interior. Stepping on inside of the CHR here, the step-in height is pretty low. And when you step on inside, you'll notice that the interior certainly gives off a retro kind of feel. But it's simple yet sophisticated at the same time. I really do love it. And what you're hearing there is a 2-liter 4-cylinder, full leather-wrapped steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, we have a CVT Automatic with manual shiftability. And when you put the vehicle into reverse, what's pretty interesting is that Toyota decided to put the rear view camera display up on the rear view mirror. Not sure why they made that move, but I definitely do prefer it on the screen, just like how many other vehicles do it. Let's go ahead and turn on the headlights as well as the hazards. All windows are fully automatic. It's a nice little feature that they added. Let's go and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with side turn signal indicators. If you go for the XLE Premium versions, you can get blind spot detection with rear cross traffic alert as well. 18-inch alloy wheels. Halogen projector beam headlights with LED daytime running lights. Your only powertrain with the CHR here is a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder engine. Pretty surprised that they didn't go with a turbocharged powertrain, but this 2-liter produces 144 horsepower and 139 pound-feet of torque, only mated with the CVT automatic transmission. Looking at EPA estimates of a pretty healthy 27 in the city and 31 on the highway for our front-wheel drive model. But you'll notice that when you're driving this vehicle that you really do have to pin the accelerator down a whole lot, especially if you're driving uphill. And this powertrain really isn't all that powerful. I mean, even though the CHR is a pretty sporty looking vehicle, this powertrain just doesn't deliver if you're looking for a whole lot of power. The fuel efficiency is okay, however, but if you're looking for reliability, this Toyota should certainly be very reliable in the long run. Competitors of the CHR, like I said, you have the vehicles in the subcompact crossover class. This includes the likes of the Chevrolet Trax, Jeep Renegade, and you also do have the Nissan Juke, as well as the Mazda CX-3 and the Honda HR-V. EPA estimates, like I said, 27 city, 31 highway. What's also pretty interesting is that the final assembly point for this vehicle is actually in Turkey. Total vehicle price, $24,235. The CHR tends to be a little bit more on the expensive side in the subcompact crossover class, but it is very well equipped, especially when you compare it to other vehicles in the class. Very stylish when you come to the rear. Kind of looks like the Honda Civic hatchback a little bit in the back. All of your basic power necessities, including power windows, power door locks, and your power mirrors. Interior quality in the CHR is decent, especially given the price point of the vehicle. You'll find nice plush and soft materials that abound everywhere inside of here, such as on the upper door panel, armrest, and on top of the dashboard too. I'm quite impressed with the CHR's interior quality. Materials are really nice, and the fit and finish isn't too bad either. I mean, you'll find that everything fits together for the most part pretty well, and overall you'll find that this interior doesn't have a super cheap feeling, even though it is the cheapest crossover offering in the Toyota model lineup. This is a new steering wheel design for the Toyota brand. Very interesting looking, especially with the high gloss black trim. And you will find your steering wheel mounted audio controls, Bluetooth phone controls, and your voice recognition. This is also a 3-spoke design as well. Then over here you'll find your controls for your driver information center, as well as your pre-collision system, and then your lane departure alert with your lane keeping assist. And then we also do have adaptive cruise control, which is pretty good, cool. And your steering wheel also does manually tilt and telescope. Could use a little bit better of a range of adjustment here. I mean, not a whole lot of adjustment that you can do with the steering wheel, but can be a little bit better. And over here we do have your automatic high beams, auto dimming rear view mirror, map lights, and you have a cup holder right there, as well as right here, and an electronic parking brake, automatic brake hold feature. And this is all standard equipment here on the XLE trim, since there's only 2 trim levels for this vehicle. USB charging port, auxiliary input are located down there. You have a little storage cubby that's hidden all the way over there. Center console is soft touch. Pretty deep with the center console storage. Lots of space. And a 12-volt power outlet. And a glove box compartment. You'll also find dual zone automatic climate control, fan speed levels, temperatures, and your different zones. If you do go for the XLE premium version of the CHR, you also do get heated front seats. Coming to the gauges in the instrument cluster, pretty simple looking gauge setup, and you have your driver information display right in the center. On the left you'll find your coolant temperature, as well as your tachometer, and on the right you'll find your fuel gauge, as well as your speedometer. And in the center shows all of your basic vehicle information, such as your digital speedometer, fuel range, your eco indicator, and your fuel economy gives you a bar graph, and then your sensitivity for your pre-collision system. And then you also do have your drive mode, which you could change from sport, normal, and eco. The eco does maximize your fuel economy the best, and your normal is for everyday driving, and the sport mode does change up things a little bit, but not that big of a difference. In your vehicle settings, any different settings that you could change here. Also do have your tire pressure monitoring system. You have your meter settings. You could change the language, units. You could turn the eco indicator on or off if you would like. And your drive info too. Overall, this driver information display is fairly easy to use and intuitive. Just do it by the buttons on the steering wheel. Pretty good graphics too. Your infotainment system and main head unit is Toyota's Intune system. And we've seen this many times here before, nothing too out of the ordinary. In fact, I wish they would update this head unit as it's getting a little long in the tooth and dated. But the responsiveness of the touchscreen is pretty good and it's very intuitive for the most part. And your different audio sources do include all of the norm here. We do have AM, FM, XM satellite radio, your auxiliary input, AHA, internet radio, and Bluetooth streaming audio. And then you also do have your Bluetooth phone connectivity. You can hook up your Bluetooth phone, have all of your contacts stored on here too. And then you have your voice recognition button.
How may I help you?
Cancel.
Cancelled.
Voice recognition works fairly well. And we do have HD radio as well as Grace Note on here too. There's also settings that you could change from general, like the language, beep. You could delete personal data. And voice, you could change the voice volume. Display settings, you can adjust the contrast and brightness. Bluetooth, you can add in a Bluetooth device if you would like. As well as your phone, you can hook up your Bluetooth phone. Then vehicle settings too. Overall, works fairly well, just getting a little dated. As far as the way the seats go, the seats are pretty comfortable in the CHR here. Pretty plush and soft, and you'll find that you will want to take a long road trip inside of here. And there's plenty of room inside of the CHR despite its small and compact dimensions. I mean, I don't feel like I'm claustrophobic inside of here. I have plenty of headroom and plenty of legroom, and I found a very comfortable driving position. Visibility out of the front windows are excellent. Lots of glass area all around, and I love the little front quarter windows. And seeing out of the windshield is pretty easy too, but seeing out of the rear is a little bit of a different story. You have pretty big blind spots back there. I would certainly suggest getting the XLE premium version, which will give you the blind spot detection. Probably the best part you'll love about driving this CHR is the reasonable fuel efficiency numbers, as well as the comfortable ride quality. It's pretty smooth, and you'll find that it's pretty quiet at highway speeds. But what's not so good is the powertrain. The engine can be a little underwhelming at times, especially if you're going up an incline, and this is not an exhilarating powertrain. And the steering and the handling are certainly not the CHR's expertise, but I mean, this is not a vehicle that you'll want to throw around sharp corners, and I mean, this vehicle is fairly easy to drive. I mean, anyone could pick it up real quick. If you're looking for a car that's engaging to drive in the subcompact crossover class, I suggest going with the Mazda CX-3. But the CHR here, I mean, it offers a little bit of a driver engagement. It feels somewhat nimble and light on its feet, but I mean, it's still not the sportiest crossover in the class. And if you are looking for a sporty crossover, go with the Mazda CX-3. But the Toyota does ride smoothly, and it does provide decent fuel efficiency numbers. And the CVT Automatic is pretty refined for the most part too. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and shut down the CHR. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. You also do have this high mounted door handle. It's not too high. I mean, this vehicle isn't really all that tall. I also do love these cup holders on the door panels here. Very convenient. And back here you also find rear adjustable headrests, and the seats do fold down 60-40 split. Sitting back here in the CHR, you'll actually find, surprisingly, that there's a decent amount of legroom and headroom. Toyota made sure that the rear passengers were taken care of. And I'm actually really impressed. I mean, this vehicle is pretty comfortable in the rear seats, and you can't say that about too many subcompact crossovers. And especially with the sleek styling too. It's a great job on Toyota's part. All right. Cargo space isn't too bad either. Love the hatchback-like utility. And I love how the rear seats fold down too. So with its roomy interior and fuel-efficient 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, and its reasonable amount of features for the money, the 2018 Toyota CHR is a pretty good choice for a subcompact crossover. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.